Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. What is it? I don't know. Is it the second, the third, something like that of November already? um, oh my goodness. First of all, it's so echoey in here. I'm so sorry. We're going to get to it. You can't see it from your end, from your vantage point, but there's a lot that's been done in the office, mostly just clearing the junk out, the boxes, opening up the boxes. So many of them were cords and electronic things that I wasn't sure where they went. When Eric and I would do coffee time and we were up in the media room, do you remember those days? There was such a setup, like you had no idea. Like I was kind of like frustrated because our entire media room, like what you couldn't see. So off of the media room was like this little pub area. And that's where we had the big table. There was a wet bar and there was all this stuff. And like Eric had like this setup. It was like lights and this and the hanging mic and this mic and then the stream decks and his big one and all this stuff. And I literally don't know it. So we are very condensed. We are very streamlined with what we're doing now. Maybe we'll get it bigger and better again. But for now, we're still going, kind of streamlining it. But I still had all of the equipment and it was all in boxes. And there's like the big light that he really likes me to use is right there. I'm looking at it. But when I pulled it out of the car, the cord, like there's a cord, but then there's a cord within a cord, which by the way, why are we doing that? Why is there going to be a cord within a cord? Like why? Anyway, so I lost the cord within a cord, so I can't actually plug it in. So I keep waiting to like stumble across that particular one. So I have these other lights. And so when I put my glasses on, I know you're going to see the reflection, but that's the best I can do, guys. Anyway, so sorry, this doesn't look any different. It's still kind of plain Jane, not that you're plain by any stretch of the imagination, my sweet friend. I didn't get to painting back here. I did get to a hallway. I just didn't have time to do this room because it's a bit smaller. And because this desk is so large, it's going to require some flexibility and some Cirque du Soleil body contortions that I'm just not up for at the moment. So, I promise one day I'll make this look better. Honestly, I'm not sold on it. Like, to be completely honest, I don't like it. So I have to figure something out. But for now, it's just going to have to do. So anyway, how are you? Did you have a good week? Did you have a good Halloween? In honor of Halloween that passed, I have my last of the to-go mugs. So I rarely use all of them. I am a sucker for buying these little packs. You can get them like at Home Goods or just any of those places. Walmart even has them. Just where you have the whole stackable of the mugs with the little lids and then the little protector thingy for each of the holidays or the seasons. And I bought them. I thought they'd be really good for moving in since I was closing the beginning of October. That they would be a good thing for me just to kind of have until I found my coffee mugs and things like that. And we did. We ended up using them between the kids and myself. We got them all. We got them mostly gone. And this was the last one. So cheers to you. This is my last remaining Halloween little coffee mug. And I did actually pour fresh coffee right before we started. Although I don't know if I'm going to get to all of it because I have to keep talking to you. So let's take a sip of our coffee, shall we? Mm-hmm. Okay, so here's the thing. Like, go with me on this, and then I promise we're going to get to the other stuff. Okay. So I like coffee that is in some sort of a mug that has a lid on it because I don't guzzle it. I kind of nurse it throughout the day, or at least for a while. And I don't like cold coffee at all. Like it needs to be not blazing hot where I can't drink it, but it needs to be really warm. And sometimes those mugs that have the lid on them, like I can't think of the name of them, but whatever. They taste like metal. Like sometimes it makes your drink taste a little metallic. Is that just a me thing, or do you agree? And this actually is good because it's just a paper cup. And like, hold on, something's happening over here. Sorry. Hold on, let me fix that. This is my two computers, guys. So here, let me just do this. I'll do that. See if this works. Perfect. Okay. I don't know what's happening over there. It's just doing an ad or something. So I have an extra light happening over here, and it just decided to do something. Oh, but it's showing me Christmas stuff. Oh, Christmas. Oh, it's so pretty. Oh, it's Lowe's. Hey, it was a Lowe's ad. So back to a Christmas early sales happening. Anyway, okay. So yes, tell me if you think it tastes metallic, if it's in a metal cup with a lid, like a thermosy type thing. Oh my gosh, do you remember like when I was a kid? Oh my gosh, I don't know this. I promise we're gonna get to real stuff. Okay, when I was a kid and we had the metal lunch boxes that had the little clasp that locked it, and you carried it like this. And you had like the Scooby Doo, or you had like Barbie, or like GI Joe, or whatever it was. Do you remember those thermoses that if you dropped them, like the inside would shatter? Do you remember those? Is it, again, just a me thing? Or do you remember those? Because I remember those, and wow, what a danger, right? Anyway, point is, do you prefer your coffee in a tumbler type thing with a lid? Do you think it tastes a little weird if it has like a metallic inside? Do you like mugs like this? Or do you like the open mug? Here we are, Disney. There you go. Or do you like oh, this has water today. Water today. Good thing I got water today. Or do you like mugs like this where you can just be all cozy and just kind of drink it? Anyway, so let me know. I'm going to look at all your comments over here. Goodness gracious. I'm so sorry. Every time I cough too, I'm shaking the desk. Let's see. Oh my goodness. La 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 la. I'm looking at all of you. Yeah, you guys, I love you. I just do. Good morning, Shafiq. I don't think I said hello to you, my friend, but I try so hard as I zoom through just to kind of see Pam and John. I don't think I said good morning to you yet. Anyway, okay, so much stuff going on. But Pam says she does remember those thermoses. I remember breaking one, and I prefer a ceramic mug. There you go. Thank you very much, Pam. Pam, I have a question for you, my friend. Okay, so I'm kind of getting sold. I haven't had it yet on this mushroom coffee, on this rise, whatever. So I need you to find out, how can I just order one bag? Like why do these things want to get you like, into a subscription type thing? So I think I'm willing to try it if you can find me one bag. So tell me how that works and I'll get a bag. Okay. Anyway. All right, let's move on. Uh-oh. So the Forest Grants, good morning from Sarah, Susan, and Matthew. Mom's driving, but we are listening. You guys are so sweet. I adore you. All right, my friends. And Jane also says, I dropped one of those thermoses, and yes, it shattered. Like, what were they doing to us when we were kids, right? Like, that just should not have been safe. No, I mean, we were advanced enough at that point to realize that's probably not a great idea. Anyway, all right, I digress. Let's move on. All right, so cheers to you. Have a sip of coffee, and then let's get going on our brewing topics. All right, so today we're going to talk about short sale, expired listings, and fallback. Okay, so first of all, real quick, when the little bumper plays, the little intro to brewing, that's when I can glance back over at all the messages and see anything that I may have missed. So I love it. I just love you guys. Like asking if there's any more cruises planned for Sydney. You guys know each other so well. Yeah, and Sydney's going this Saturday. Oh my gosh. So Sydney, wait a minute, hold up. So she's going on a cruise this Saturday, a 12-night celebrating my bestie of 46 years on hubby 60th birthday. All right, maybe I need to do a cruise. I don't know, maybe I just do. Melody had the Scooby-Doo lunch box. Awesome, me too. And then let's see, who else do we have? Amy, you drink I love that it's Ames too, because like a very few people call me Ames. Now they call me AMES. But I love that. I drink my coffee hot and cold. So do my girls. They drink it hot and cold. I have yet to get into the to the cold coffee. It just doesn't sit right with me. Anyway, all right. So brewing topic: short sale, expired listings, and fallback. So let's go to short sales. All right. The reason I want to talk about short sales, and I think we talked about it a couple weeks ago, just kind of in passing. So I have a client who contracted the beginning of August. And still have not closed on the property. So here's the thing. Short sales, first of all, it makes me sad because when there's a short sale, usually there's financial or distress. There's problems where the homeowner is not able to continue to make the mortgage payments. There's a problem, right? And I will say, a short sale, if you don't know what a short sale is, when you owe more on the, let me make sure I word this correctly. So you actually are going to sell it. There you go. You're going to sell it for less than what you're going to sell it for. So, hold on. Let me try that again. You're going to sell it for less than what you owe. There you go. Did I say it right that time? I think I need more coffee. So anyway, so you owe more on the home. The bank needs to have more money to pay off the loan than what you were able to sell it for. So it's a short sale. Now, it's better than foreclosure, okay? It's better than foreclosure, so it's a little bit better. But there are definitely some problems with it, so challenges with it. So first of all, if you are ever interested in a short sale, you need to understand a couple of things. It's going to take a long time for you to close on that property, and it's not going to be easy. And this is what we're finding out. And in all full transparency, this is my first short sale. Most clients go away from those. Like, most people are like, I need my house. I don't need the headache, right? I need a house, no headache. And so they stay away from the they stay away from the short sale just because they know there's going to be so much red tape involved with it. And so candidly, there's just not been a lot of short sales in my neck of the woods, in where we are. It can happen anywhere. It just hasn't happened where we are. Most things are just so new. But in this case, the home that my client wanted was a short sale. So of course, that's my job, right? I have to show you everything you want to see. So we showed them the short sale. And of course, that's the one they wanted. So we are still struggling with that one. So a couple of pros and cons with short sales. Let's talk about it from the seller's perspective. So from the seller's perspective, like I said earlier, they can avoid foreclosure. Foreclosure is not good. Foreclosure has a lot of negative things that are attached with it. So we just don't want to go down that path if there is any possible way to avoid it. And the way to avoid it is a short sale, potentially. And you don't actually have to wait. So if you had a foreclosure, you would have to wait 7 years before you would be able to qualify to purchase another home. So foreclosure is a bad thing. We try not to do that. And of course it happens, and you try to navigate around it. That's why, I've actually had friends that were foreclosed on a property, and it's one of the first people I met when we moved here, and they had a foreclosure, and they were renting, and they just had to rent. They had to rent. And then all of a sudden, the 7 years passed, and they were in a position to buy, and I helped them buy a beautiful townhome. And it just made my heart so stinking happy, because it was a hard thing for them to go through and to come out of positively on the other side. So foreclosures, we want to avoid them. So that's kind of a pro for the seller, is that you can avoid the foreclosure part of it, and that you don't have to wait the 7 years. If you decide, hey, my life is turned around, I want to go buy something again, you don't have to wait the 7 years. A con for the seller is that your credit's still going to take a hit. It's going to take a hit in a foreclosure too, but it's still going to take a hit when it comes to a short sale as well. And here's the other kicker, is that the lender has to approve it. So whoever owns that mortgage, whoever the lender is that financed that property, they have to approve of that short sale. And the frustrating thing from our perspective as the buyer, because I represent the buyer in this one, is that it is just painstakingly slow, and you cannot move on with your own life. And so a couple buyer pros. Let's go through the pros and cons for the buyers, and I'll keep telling you about our specific situation. So the pro for the buyers is sometimes you can get a really good deal. You can find a good property out there, especially if you're someone who's like, I want to flip it and turn it around. Well, that's not what these people are doing. They want to make it their primary residence. And they're getting a deal, but it's not like they're getting like massive deal, because remember, the home that my clients are buying is looks like not even a year old, or just barely a year old. So it's kind of a bad time for things like this to have happen. So we're still kind of sweating it a little bit. And then a lot of people, as far as the pro goes, is that a lot of people don't want a short sale. So there's not as much competition. Not that we have a lot of, the buyers have a lot of choices at the moment. Again, we've a little bit of an abundance of inventory here. So, the buyers kind of have their pick at the moment, but depending on the market at that time, there's really not a lot of competition for short sales, because like I said, people don't want to deal with the headache and the mess of it. Unless there's someone who's like an investor and they're never going to live in the property. It's something that they're doing on the side over here. And so they can wait as long as it takes. That's not the case for my clients. A buyer con is that it is a very, very, very slow process. Usually anywhere between 2 to 6 months. And remember, that lender has to approve it. So in our case, this is where we are. We are approaching 90 days, we're getting closer. The end of this month will be, right around Thanksgiving. Will be about 90 days for us. And we still don't have approval. So in our offer that we submitted, that was accepted by the seller. The seller signed off on it. But remember, the seller doesn't get the final say-so in this. The lender does. And so we think we have an offer. Like, I think the terms of our offer exist. And that included a credit back to the buyer, which is probably not going to happen. I'm afraid at this point that it's taken so long that they're going to come back and they're going to say, we accept the offer. Or they can come back and say, no, we don't accept this offer. Or they change it completely, which means that we may not be able to continue to move forward and we've wasted all this time. So anyway, short sales are not fun, my friends. It's very frustrating. And what I think in our case for this particular one, and I will tell you the reason that I was a little bit more open to this one was because the listing agent, right there on the MLS, right there in the description, right there in realtor remarks, said, we have a short sale team in place. We can get this done. It's going to be easy. It's going to be smooth. We've got a short sale team that is going to guide us to a successful closing quickly. Okay, because here's the thing. Some brokerages, some realtors, sometimes that's their gig. That's their lane, right? That's where they go. They focus on those short sales. That's what they focus on. That happens all the time. And so I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe that's what they do. Maybe they focus kind of on these short sale experts. They're going to do a great job. They're going to guide us through. And let me just tell you, that's not the truth. It's not at all. My client's lender, the buyer's lender, has reached out to them multiple times. And the guy's like, yeah, I mean, they don't, it was just, it was BS. And they don't have a short sale team in place. Nobody has negotiated anything. We're beholden to this lender. So point is, short sales, my friend, they have to happen. And it is a better option if you happen to be on the owner's end, the seller's end. It's a better option than foreclosure. But if you are a buyer, you need to be aware. You need to have your eyes open and know going into it that you could wait a very long time. And by the way, the lender could come back to us and say, no, we just, or, hey, we're not going to be able to close on this until the spring of 2026. What does my buyer do? Like, he has to move into this home. So it's a conundrum, folks. So hang tight with us and we'll kind of keep you updated as we continue to guide ourselves through this short sale debacle. That's kind of crazy. All right. So our second brewing topic is, what was it? Oh, expired listings. Expired listings. Okay. So what is an expired listing? And by the way, full transparency, I do not sugarcoat anything. I tell you the things that I do that are great and wonderful and successful. And then I am going to tell you the things that it's a head scratcher. I have a listing that is expired. And an expired listing basically means whatever the agreement is that you have with your listing agent. It can be 3 months. Never advise 3 months, by the way. I advise a minimum of 6 months. It doesn't even matter where you are, what market you're in. 6 months to me is a minimum. I did a 3 month once. We'll never do it again. If you want me to list your home, it's going to be 6 months at least, and we should probably extend it in our current market conditions. But at any rate, an expired listing is when you have that agreement with your listing agent as to how long they are going to have your home on the market and try to get it sold for you. I do 6 months. This home has been on the market for 6 months and it's not moving. It's not going anywhere. It's priced okay, but we've got a lot of competition. We have a closing cost contribution. We've done everything we can. We've had open houses. There's nothing that we have left off the table. We have featured it here multiple times, and it just happens sometimes where people just don't want the home that you have, and you just either have to like drop that price, and even then there's no guarantee. It's kind of tricky because there are some homes that you put them up on the market, and even in this market, they've got offers within a week. And then there's homes where you're like, I just don't get it. So I have an expired listing. It expired on November 1st. We did not decide to extend the listing agreement, and I don't know what they're going to do. Now, if that happens to be your situation, here's your option. Your option is take it off the market for a while, kind of get through the holidays, if this is your timing. Give it a couple months, get through the holidays, and then relist it again, either with the same agent, or you can shop for another realtor to try to do it if you weren't happy with the one you had. But I will tell you, from a realtor's perspective, and this is where I'm going to have my colleagues in my profession, I got you covered. I did everything I could. We had showings. I follow up. I provide feedback to my clients when I got the feedback. We did reverse prospecting. We did the open houses. We did featuring. We did everything that we could. And it just still was not getting any traction whatsoever. There was one person that said that they really liked it, but interesting story on that one. It's too long and it's too uninteresting to you. But yeah, so that happens. It happens, and it hurts my heart because I want to make you happy. I want to do everything that I possibly can to make you happy. But I'm not a miracle worker. None of us are. No realtors are. And so all you can do is put your best foot forward and do your best. And, the home could turn around and sell immediately with somebody else. Maybe they just had the magic touch, if there is such a thing. Maybe it's just the timing and the market and the interest rates. We just kind of came at it at a bad time. But anyway, that's an expired listing. Now, here's something to be wary of if you happen to be a seller. As soon as your home becomes expired or temporarily off the market or canceled or withdrawn, whatever the terms are for wherever you are, you will be inundated with phone calls. I'm sure my client has already received a gazillion phone calls from other realtors who are going, hey, I noticed you had your home listed and it didn't sell. So let me tell you what I can do to sell the property. And they'll have a script because that's what they do. That's what they're trained to do. It's what we're trained to do, although I never went to a scripts class because it went against my core of who I am. But, that's a lane. That's a lane that some people go to. Some people focus on short sales. Some people sit around in their office all day and they're just going to call every expired and every temporarily off the market or canceled or withdrawn listing. That's what they're going to do. That's how they're going to generate their leads, so to speak. That's how they're going to get a client, because they're just going to see, well, that one didn't sell, so let me try it. Let me see if I can talk them in to letting me have a go at it. And that's fair and that's fine. But I will tell you, be prepared that that's what a lot of people are trained to do. It's not a bad thing. It's just that's what they're trained to do. And that's how they're going to get their client. They may not know anything about you or your neighborhood or your house or the area or anything, but, it's transactional to them. In my case, it's not transactional. It hurts my heart because this is a family that I've helped multiple times, and it's just, it's just frustrating. So anyway, so that's an expired listing, and I have one, and I'm sad about that, but that's the truth. Anyway, all right, let's see. Yep. Aim says, no, sometimes it's just timing. And that's it. That absolutely is it. And it wasn't even so much the price, because we did price it too high in the beginning against my recommendation, but we wanted to see what happened. That's what they wanted to do. But we eventually got there. We lowered it and then we added the closing cost incentive, but sometimes a little bit too late. Because when we did that, then we started to hit what was typically the slow season anyway. So just a bummer. It makes my heart sad. It's not fun for me. Anyway, okay. So Daryl, hold on. Daryl said he had the Fat Albert lunchbox. His friend Bobby wanted to look at the thermos. He dropped it and broke it. Oh, I never forgave him for that. Oh, I want to see if I can find you a Fat Albert lunchbox and a thermos. I have to tell you, I don't know. Okay. There's something. Okay, so I'm a smells person, which, by the way, Daryl, stay tuned because I meant to do this last week and I totally forgot, but today it's even better. I've told you before, I have, I think, a great nose. Not the shape of it. I smell so well. It is just ridiculous. Things that I'm like, oh my gosh, this house, like I can tell that the cat peed over there on that rug, like, whatever. And other people are like, I can't smell a thing. I'm like, no, I smell it. I really do not like the smell of cigarette smoke. I grew up with my mom smoked, and I just could not do it. So if you smoke, you may smoke if that's what you wish to do. From my heart, try to stop because it's not good for your health, and I love you. But my mom smoked. She doesn't smoke anymore, by the way. Good for her, yay. But I just have a very, very averse reaction to cigarette smoke. And when we would be with my kids, we'd be out somewhere. I know my girls are on here and they'll attest to this. We could be somewhere like a parking garage or something. We get out of the car to walk into Universal or something. And I like smell smoke and I'm like this and I'm like, I have to walk in the other direction and they can't smell it. It's not bothering them, but I'm like, somebody's smoking. Somebody is smoking. And then sure enough, as we walk, we find the person. Anyway, smells. I was going to talk about the smells over here for the holidays. So I have a candle lit, and we'll talk about this in a minute. I'm gonna get through my brewing topics, but remind me in a minute to come back to the smells and the scents and the nose and all that stuff because that's fun because I have a story about Daryl. Poor Daryl. All right. Anyway, let's move on. So what is the third brewing topic? I don't know. What was it? Oh, fall back. Yeah. So there's not a lot to talk about with this one, except how did you react to this? You know, it's so funny because I had just watched a news story or something about how there's still this debate as to whether or not we should do away with daylight savings time and how that would affect us, how it does affect us. And I know that it kind of took me back to thinking about, you know, it's a little bit brighter in the morning because they were saying it's safer to keep daylight saving time because all the kids that are going to school, walking to school, driving to school, all of us who are driving to work, who are leaving early in the morning when it's darker, it's nicer to have it lighter in the morning. Even though it gets darker earlier, it's nice to have it earlier in the morning, have that light. It's actually safer. So that's cool. I like that. But Alyssa and Allie and I were doing some video production yesterday, and it was just really funny because we were talking about daylight savings time, and we both got ourselves so stinking confused. We're like, no, we gained an hour of sleep. No, we lost an hour. No, we gained an hour. Well, if we gained an hour, no, we lost an hour. And then she's like, well, then Easton woke up like 2 hours early. I thought it was just the daylight savings time. We got ourselves so turned around, and it was just the funniest thing because Hong eventually straightened us out and said, yes, we gained an hour of sleep, but didn't really because I woke up an hour earlier than I normally do. So I don't know. It affected me yesterday or whenever day it was. Anyway, so that's just kind of funny that that happens. But now, so here's the thing. The Daryl story. Okay, so it's fall. I can officially, I mean, it's been fall, but now I'm almost ready for Christmas. As Elizabeth said, she's like, you know, it goes from this mug to a Christmas mug. I know we shouldn't do that, but I just love the Christmas season so much. Not really sure how I feel about it this year. I've already had a couple of really emotional days this week, like really bad, like probably some of the worst, but I'm not going to go there. But one thing that I really enjoy are good smells and candles. I love them. I also like the little lamps that have the burner on the bottom that you just turn the lamp on and the heat from the lamp heats it. Those are nice so that you don't have to have a lit flame. So true story. So when Daryl and Jen and their beautiful kids first moved here, I give them credit to my real estate career because I was just simply trying to get them to move here and was doing videos for them specifically. That's kind of how the whole thing started. But they would come over around the holidays, like they'd come over for Christmas, and I would have my candles going. And Daryl, he just made a comment, something about, you know, there's a certain smell that Amy's house has. You know, glad it's not the cats, glad it's not the dogs. But what it was, and now because Daryl said it's the iconic Amy house smell, I have to continue to buy it. This is the iconic Amy's house smell. It's spiced apple toddy. It's the Bath and Body Works candle. Oh wow, that's dirty. The Bath and Body Works candle, spiced apple toddy. This has always been my favorite. You know, they smell differently when you burn them sometimes, but this is the smell of Amy's house, I guess, around the holiday season, and that does start today, my friends. Now today, I just was going to share this because Daryl, it was just really funny because this has been an ongoing thing with us for the 10 years now since they just celebrated their 10-year anniversary in their home. That we talk about this every year about the smell of Miss Amy's house. So spiced apple toddy. So if you like Bath and Body Works, go grab that candle. You will not regret it. Speaking of that, the one I have lit today is my favorite scent for the fall. It's called Leaves. It's lit, so I can't. Where is it? There it is. Leaves. I love that one. Oh, shoot. Now I just Well, I just blew it out because the wax did, or whatever. There we go. Now it's officially out. Okay. But I wanted to share with you a couple other ones because I have a candle closet. Do you have a candle closet? I got a candle closet. And shockingly, almost all of my candles made it. When I was packing up the house, I was like, I don't know if these are going to like make it, but they did. Most of them. This one, if you don't like girly smells, like if you're a dude, okay, let's just say, if you're a dude, but you still like candles, but you don't want it to be a girly candle, but you still want to like have a smell or a fragrance. This one called Autumn Woods. This is very dude-ish. It kind of smells like a cologne or an aftershave type thing. It's okay. It's not my favorite. If I wanted, well, I was just going to say if I wanted to smell a man, I'd go smell Eric, but I can't do that. So anyway, but this is a very nice one if you kind of like a little masculine scent. This one is good. I'm almost done. I promise. Bear with me. Cranberry and the Gala apples. That's a good one. And then here we go. Yankee Candle. I can't just do Bath and Body Works. Okay, so this one is really good too if you like a mild one. This one is Yankee Candle. What is this one? White spruce and grapefruit. And then this one is just sparkling cinnamon. So this is like if you're cooking, you got to have the cinnamon one going. But then here's my favorite Christmas one, other than spiced apple toddy, is the balsam and cedar. Okay, that's it. That's my home scents for the day. So these I got at Costco, by the way. There's a whole set of 6 of them, little ones. So I was a sucker and I bought them. So anyway, all right, so that's it. That was a little sidebar. Speaking of sidebars, I have to tell you, my sister, Jennifer, has suggested a new segment instead of what's brewing, what's chewing. She is always, I have to tell you, it actually cracks me up. And I love it so much, but she sends me, she loves to cook. She's the one that kind of has my grandmother's gene, and she likes to do the cooking and the entertaining, and she does everything from scratch, and it's amazing, and she's so good at it. But she will send me like just crazy, interesting products that she sees at the grocery store. Like she would rather go to a grocery store and just peruse each aisle and each shelf, like I would like to go to Home Goods or something, or Kirkland's. And so she's just constantly sending me things. So I was like, she's like, maybe we should do a segment called What's Chewing. And I was like, that's funny. Not a bad idea. So maybe much like Critters or just some of the other ones, Weather, sometimes we pop in. Maybe some of those like, that we don't do every week. Maybe we'll do a What's Chewing, and then we can share some fun recipes and things like that. Anyway, okay. Kim, I'm always afraid that I will forget to blow out candles. I know. You know what, Kim? Me too. As I'm getting a little bit older, I think I have just put myself into a elderly category that I'm not really in, but I feel like I am now. I'm like, oh well, what's left in my life? Oh, okay, yeah, I should probably watch it like when I'm walking. Yeah, I should probably not get up on that ladder. I do anyway, but probably shouldn't. Yeah, I probably shouldn't put that candle on because I have one at the front door, but it's not lit. It is one of the ones with the timer. So I do the timer because at least that way it won't get, it won't do it. But yeah, I'm with you with the flames. I actually have not been doing flames here lately, but I did for you, my friends. All right, let's go. Let's keep going. All right, so let's go on to Secret. Okay. All right. So, sorry. I always look back. Daryl says Hallmark needs a TV show called Smells Like Amy. I don't know if that would do very well, Daryl. Yeah, I don't know, but I'm sorry. I'm just visually. Who would play me? Anyway, yeah, who would play me? Who's my doppelganger? Do you guys have doppelgangers? My doppelganger was Meredith Baxter Burney back in the days of Family Ties. 100%. That was mine. Anyway, okay. The secret for today is the home in Encore Innovation is officially on the market. It's the one that I've been talking about past couple weeks in very, very vague terms because we're not allowed to publicly advertise too much. But here we go. It is officially on the market. 5-bedroom, 4-bath, a little over 3,800 square feet, and it is actually. All on purpose. What a segue. Eric would be proud. So on that note, according to The Secret, the listing spotlight, here is that beautiful house. Encore Novation, 5 bedrooms, 4 baths, huge backyard. Look at that backyard, bottom right-hand picture. That is an incredibly deep backyard. Remember, in our area, new construction home sites are typically 50 feet wide by 120 feet deep. That 120 is more common. That is probably 98% of the home sites of new construction are 120 feet deep. Sometimes they're 110, yikes. Sometimes they're 125, 130, a little bit better. But remember, the size of the home is going to, the footprint of that home is going to take a lot of that particular home site. So you need to kind of pay attention to what is the depth if you decide to put in a pool or some outdoor, living space beyond where your existing lanai is. Anyway, this one has a really deep backyard, no rear neighbors, beautiful finishes on the inside. Really, really like this. Happy this one just went active on November 1st. While we're there, let's go ahead and go to the other listings. We have the Winter Garden. Oh, guys, do me a favor. Would you all throw out some good mojo for me, please? We had somebody that came and saw this. They had a second showing scheduled yesterday. They didn't show up for the showing, so I gave them a call and said, hey, just checking. The seller says, they stepped out for the showing, but it doesn't look like anybody's come yet. It's been about 30 minutes. Are you just running late? And they said, oh, we're so sorry. Yes, my clients were traveling from out of town, but they both got really sick and they can continue to make the drive, but they do love the home. So as soon as they feel better, we're going to discuss submitting an offer. So please, 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 you have no idea. Like, I know these people's personal stories and why things need to happen, and we need to get this one sold. So please throw out that mojo for that one, please. Mineola 2-story, getting some good showings on that one. Just no offers yet. Windermere Townhome, same thing. Getting a lot of foot traffic lately, which shocking. This is why real estate, you cannot predict what's going to happen. And then, of course, we have the beautiful Winter Garden Horizon West home. Beautiful, beautiful. We have the Winter Garden gated home that is in Lakeview Preserve, 55 plus in Kissimmee. That one is, the villa is still there. And then the Hawksmoor townhome that's under contract. Woohoo! I forgot about that one. That one is getting ready to close. I should have taken that off our screen. Sorry about that. But that one's going to be closing here pretty soon. So excited about that. Very much excited about that. Okay, let me see. All right, I wanted to check. I'm looking over here. Wait, Melody. I already put out my Christmas pillows on my couch. I'm looking for a Christmas candle. I love you. I'm gonna maybe go decorate over the next little bit. Because I think if you've got yours out, then there's no reason. You did it. You started it. It's now a domino reaction. We can all do it. Melody put out her pillows. That's too funny. I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Yeah. So you guys are talking about your apples, your candles. So Sydney's, what did she say? I like the apples and pumpkin spice scents. Pam, yep, apples and pumpkins are her favorite. The candles along with lavender, that's calming. Yeah, I like that one. Amy loves candles, but cinnamon. You know what? This one, because it was in the gift set, I didn't buy this one. I don't know that it's a little strong for me. I don't hate it, but I don't like it as much as the others. So it would be hard for me. That would be like, okay, I'm out of candle. Sydney, she likes summer, like the citrus, Hawaiian, fresh linen scents. Yeah, me too. I very much like coconut beach smells for the summertime for sure. And then again, talking about the candles. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't catch up with your little things over here. What is Shafiq? We want Eric's plate up, please. I have it up, Shafiq. I have it with his urn, my friend. So it's in a private place. It is up. It's in my room with his urn and the wedding ring, and yeah, I have it up. It's in a private place. Anyway, okay, let's keep moving on. All right, let's see. So we did all that. Let's do wishes. Okay, so so our wishes, Richard and Tina. So We are just trekking through this. We're getting through this. Got through inspection period. We are getting closer and closer to closing. So you know what? You never know. Oh, and I told you, Richard and Tina. This, by the way, this is so funny because last week when I got the message from the agent, this morning I got a phone call from the HOA. Finally, after several days of trying to get in touch with them. So we're knocking down those hurdles, my friends. We're gonna get closer and closer to closing. I would love for you guys to close sooner than our closing date. But Mark and Rose closing tomorrow. Oh my God, I'm so excited. This is all so freaking fabulous. I love it. I'm so happy for you guys. All right, let's keep moving on. Let's go to let's go to school. All right, so this is a little event. If you live in or around the area, you might want to consider attending. It's called Oranges and Ornaments. It's presented to you by Advent Health. It's sponsored by Empire Finish Systems, Alari Design, Kappelman Incorporated, Florida Metal Craft, Certified Public Accountants, and the West Orange Chamber of Commerce. This is all directly from them. So yes, if you see it somewhere, I am copying and pasting so I can share it with you exactly. Spend the day surrounded by sparkling trees, holiday music, and that cozy community charm that you can only find here. Amen, my friends. Take photos with Santa and Mrs. Claus. Shop your favorite themed trees, enter to win raffle prizes, and enjoy a warm cup of coffee along the way. So it's Winter Garden Heritage Foundation's Festival of Trees, which will be Saturday, November 22nd from 11:30 to 2:30. So if you are interested in that, you can look that up. I believe it's Eventbrite is how you get the tickets. But again, if you were around the area and that's something you think you might want to do, you can send me a message and I'll see if I'll send you that link. But anyway, I'm super excited. That's going to be a fun little thing. So I'm like, ding, ding, ding over here. All right. I love it. Love it. Love it. Okay. Let's go to, I'm just going to go down my list now. I'm going to go to Word.
Oh, now come on, Amy, tell me what's the word.
Okay, post-occupancy agreement. All right, I know we have done this before, but we've done a lot of these coffee times. It's been several years now, and we very rarely, barely missed a Monday. A couple through here and there, but mostly I'm here. But in case you're not sure what a post-occupancy agreement is, this came up again with some clients, so I just figured it'd be a good time to kind of remind people what it is. It is called post-occupancy agreement, and that is something where if you are the seller and you sell your home, you have a buyer, the buyer puts a contract on the home, but you are building another home and it's going to be done and you would like a little bit longer, either a longer closing or preferably a post-occupancy agreement. So here's the scenario, right? You're building a house. You have a house. You're putting your houses on the market. Your house is being sold. You're building a new house. It's going to be ready in 3 months. Okay, it's going to be ready in 3 months. You're not contingent to sell your existing home, but you sure would like to have the money in your account because the world's cuckoo crazy and you just don't know what's going to happen. So you'd love to get that thing closed, have the money in your account, and then you'll go find a place to go stay short-term rental somewhere for however long it takes. Okay, you could do that. There is a scenario in which you sell your home, the buyer wants to buy the home, and they are open to you doing a post-occupancy agreement, which means they will allow the closing to happen in whatever time you determine, 30 days, 60 days. But remember, your home's going to be ready in 90 days. But maybe they'll allow a 60-day closing, and then they will or a 30-day closing. You close on the home. You receive the funds from the sale of the home. So your money is now sitting in your account ready to go buy this new home that you need the money for. And the buyer of your existing home allows you to remain in your home for said period of time, 30 days, 2 weeks, 5 weeks, 2 months, whatever it is that you determine. Now that becomes post-occupancy. You've closed on the property. The realtors are no longer a part of that process. We can facilitate you and get you to that point, but ultimately that is a rental agreement between you and the new buyer. So that's important to know. I've done many of them. I honestly don't really recommend it just because you never know what's going to happen. You just don't know. If someone's, the seller being in the home, Obviously, they love the home. They're going to continue to take care of the home. But what if something happens? Well, they don't own the home anymore. The buyers own the home now, but you're still living in it. So there could be issues. So it's, if there's a way to make things a little bit sweeter, smoother, easier, that's usually the best way to go about it. But do they exist? Yes, they do. Could they be a fantastic option? Yes, they can. They absolutely can. I've had scenarios where it was the perfect scenario for the buyer coming in because it means that they didn't have to carry that mortgage because they were getting rent for it. They had the mortgage that they had to pay, but they were getting rent for it from the sellers who were doing the post-occupancy agreement until they officially moved here because, I don't know, I can't remember now what it was. I think they were retiring in a certain month. And so they weren't going to be here for several months. So that was really helpful to them. They secured the home they wanted, right? They secured it, they bought it, they own it, but they don't have to pay the mortgage on it by themselves because the sellers are now paying them rent. So there's some really good reasons for that too, if you happen to be in a situation or a scenario where you think that might work. Okay, so anyway, so that is our word for the day. All right, let's do what I'm watching. And this is all Daryl and Jen's fault. All Daryl and Jen's fault. Jen, your fault specifically. All right, so Jen, when Daryl and Daryl and Jen and I had our little FaceTime last week, Jen was telling me about this show, and I'm hooked. It's another one of those. I got caught up really quickly, and so now I have to wait for new episodes to come out, which is a little frustrating. But if you are looking for something to watch, that's a good one. I think season 1 is on Netflix, and season 2 is on Hulu. But you have to wait for the new episodes to come out once you get caught up. But I really like it. It's about a doctor, top of her game, incredibly smart, and gets in a car accident and she loses her memory for a certain period of time. So it's a medical show, doctor show, but it's also got a lot of human, interaction and heart and romance and all that stuff. So anyway, it's a good one. I like it. I like it. It was a good one, Jen. Thank you for that. All right, Shafiq asked about the babies, so I'm going to go ahead and go babies next. All right, so here are the little munchkins at Halloween. So Easton was a penguin. And that is not the bowl of candy that he got. That was the bowl of candy he was giving away. But he was a little possessive at that particular moment. But he was excited. Look at that face. Look at those cheeks. Everybody just comments on his cheeks. Cheeks. Super duper cute. And then we have Elsie over there. She's just out and about. Got her cute little cat costume. I think she's Elizabeth. Does she have flowers in her hand? She was out and about. They went trick-or-treating. And she came back with a whole bag full. Super exciting. Wait, Daryl says, I'm upstairs watching man stuff. Jen is downstairs watching Doc. I tell you, it's a good show. Love it. Anyway, so there are the babies. They're both doing great. They're doing fantastic. They're super smart. They are definitely little tiny. I keep saying it, they're little threads that mend my heart. I just love them. I just wish I could see them. More babies. Yes. And Elizabeth says, yes, that was a flower in her hand. I thought so. I just couldn't tell if it was like a little bag or something, but, anyway, yes, they are absolutely adorable. They make my heart so happy. I want to smooch on them all the time. That's what I want to do. All right, let's keep going. Almost done. Okay, so this is the necklace that I actually have on today. So I had found when I was boxing up the house, Eric and I would leave little sticky notes around for each other to find randomly. We didn't do it as much later as we did earlier, as many things happened, but we would still leave little notes for each other. I had one that I put in his little pocket office that just said, I appreciate you, that just kind of was stuck up there because he was always in there working on stuff. And if he would travel, the time that he used to travel, I'd stick a little sticky note in his suitcase so that when he opened it, he'd see a little note. And he did the same for me. Anyway, there was a little sticky note that I found that just said, "You are the love of my life." And it was just a little yellow sticky note. I have the sticky note. I just don't know where I put it. I put it somewhere safe, but that's okay. I have it. I took a picture of it too. And then I found this company. There's several. Now that I've looked into it, I see that there's several people that do this, but I had not seen it done before. Where they can take whatever that handwriting is. I know that they could do things like if you want like a carving board or a cutting board, like they can imprint your grandma's recipe and her handwriting on it. They can carve it in there. But this little piece of jewelry is just special to me. I did it for myself. It was my own little pre-Christmas present. But that is his handwriting, and it was a message that he left to me on a sticky note at one point. It says, "You are the love of my life," and that made me so happy. So my heart is definitely full. So thank you, heart on your wrist. Again, I think there's probably lots of companies out there that can do this. But I was super happy with this one. I found them. I think it's a family-owned jewelry business. And they have a lot of things to offer, bracelets, all sorts of things. So now I'm like, Amy likes her baubles. So maybe I'll go back and look and see if I can find something else. But anyway, it was hard to keep wearing the wedding ring, and I do still wear it sometimes. It just depends on the day and the mood and what I'm wearing, and I don't want to lose the ring. Like this, for instance, if something happens to this, I can buy another one, right? If my chain breaks and I lose his wedding ring, I've lost it. So I just was starting to get a little bit worried about wearing that all the time. So I have that. It's right with Shafiq's sign and Eric and his urn and a little lamp and a little angel. Anyway, so I love this. This is my cup is full. This is just something I found and I love it. And it makes me really happy. So anyway, on that note, all right. So I would like to go back to Melody's comment earlier because she said, "Do it." I don't know where it is. Oh, there it is. She said, "Do it." Just something simple like pillows make me so happy. Amen, my sister friend. I agree. And that's kind of my goal. I just need to do a little something each day that's just kind of a frivolous and fun little fluffy thing to do to make me happy, and to just kind of get my mind sometimes off of the other stuff. Work is busy, work is crazy, lots of fun stuff happening, lots of fun announcements coming up soon. You guys have to stay tuned like week after week after week because some big stuff's happening, and I'm very excited to share that with you. But gotta wait till I get all my stuff together. And on that note, I actually have an appointment that I have to get to here today. So even though it's time for us to go ahead and end our coffee time, I am going to make sure that I don't just continue to jibber jabber the whole time. Did I miss anything exciting? The one thing I have been forgetting to do, and Eric will be very mad at me, is I keep forgetting to ask you if you have questions. Go ahead and put them in these comments. And we, same thing. If I don't get to it this week, I'll try to get to it next week. But always happy to help. I'm so happy that you guys join in, with me every Monday, that you decide to pop in and share a cup of coffee, whether it's morning or afternoon, for those of you that are out of the country, that are in the UK. Just seriously, I'm so humbled and happy that you decide to share a little bit of time on Monday mornings with me. Don't know why, but I am grateful that you do. So don't stop, please. Don't stop. Big stuff coming up. You're going to be so excited. Okay. On that note, my friends, I am going to scoot to my appointment. Looks like Pam has an appointment too. Maybe it's the day of appointments. I have to go get a flu shot today, guys. Oh my gosh. I need to add that to my list. Anyway. All right, guys. Love and hugs to everyone. Please stay safe. Stay well. Remember that I love you, and boy, do I appreciate you. And I just treasure our Monday mornings together. So on that note, gone is Halloween. Thanksgiving is in there somewhere. But next week, it's going to be a Christmas month for me. Love you guys. See you next week. Bye.